Hello everybody, this is Glory. Welcome to Alpha Womb. Today in the series of Kali, I will be talking about something very interesting, and this is gonna help the men who are in the path or who are struggling with their own issues of being a true man, embodying the masculine within them and becoming Bhairava, because Bhairava is the epitome of the Shiva Tattva, which is the most masculine energy in a man's body. And how do men, young men, embody that? Because frankly, let me be very honest with this fact that most women these days that I have come across, and I'm sure all of you might have come across women who constantly share their issues around how they are with a man who is a child trapped in a pubic hair. In a body of a man, a child gets trapped. By that I mean they don't grow up. They are what proverbial man-child is supposed to be. In how a man, with conscious effort, in sadhana path, can work on himself and transcend that phase. Because not just a man, but I have also seen very older men behave like a child. It's just that they have grown in bodies, but the self-esteem, the ego, the ideas and thoughts within them are that of a child, which means they have shunted their growth beyond a certain point because there was no accountability. There was nobody asking of them to be a true man. And frankly, men in previous ages had true purpose to be a man. By that I mean they were warriors. In those ages, a true man was considered to be a warrior, someone in the path of dharma, someone who cared for the country, who fought for the country, and was upholding something greater than his own self and house and those kind of things. So they had the opportunities to truly embody their masculine. Vis-a-vis now, we have come to a point in the society where women and men are all at a state of equality. I am not saying that it's a wrong idea. All I'm saying is the feminine is way above in Tantra. Kali is put way above, and Bhairava is the guardian to her path. So you have to come to Bhairava. That in itself is a greater state of being for a man to reach Kali. So there is a power dynamic there, which clearly is there. That's a truth which we are blind, which we are as a society turning blind into, and not allowing the man a purpose to be a man. If what they think as purpose is also a woman doing the same in today's day and age, which is not solving the purpose. So what you get around is child trapped in a man's body, having pubic hairs, being able to act or conduct yourself sexually does not makes you a man. It just makes you capable of using those organs, but It does not make you a man. What makes you a man is what Tantra teaches you. Is the transcendence from what should be a self-esteem of a man vis-a-vis a child, right? A child need not have to earn something. He wants food, he will ask his mother. There is a dependence. So that's what a child looks like, what the self-esteem of a child must look like. But now you have men who want to believe that if they like a woman, she's supposed to be his. If they like something, they want that. There is a difference. Now, a child will cry and not have reasons, and his mother will give it to him. Okay? But in case once you transcend the childlike ego and the self-esteem now has to transcend the child, in order to attain the state of Bhairava, you have to go transcend from a child to a boy, then from a boy to a Veera, and then from a Veera you transcend completely into Bhairava, who is unafraid. But how does the process from the transcendence from a child to a boy looks like? It's the measurement of self-esteem. Now, if you want something, your self-esteem, the self-esteem of a boy must be, must have put the work to gain the trust of that object of attention to have it. So if you have put in the work to develop the trust in the woman that a man wants in his life, he will have no insecurity. He will never have a question of doubt that, oh, now she will leave me. Most people, most men are growing up to have insecure relationships. They are insecure in their own relationships because it never began with a purpose. They never worked towards developing that trust with the woman, or they never worked on understanding her or making them understand themselves. Those kind of work were never put, and what you were left with a child crying, okay, I want her, so I need her, I want her in my life. That's why the insecurity. That is the transcendence of a child's self-esteem to a boy's self-esteem. That is the difference of what a child trapped in a boy's or man's body would look like or think like or expect things in life, and what a true transcendence of transition from a child to a boy would look like. Now, once you have reached, once you have reached that level of, okay, if I need that, I need to prove myself, I need to, develop and work on certain things. Once that understanding is attained, the man then grows into the state of Veera, where if he needs something, he puts in the work, right? Like I told you, he puts in the work. Now, at the stage of a Veera, which is a warrior, he will now start measuring. So let's say if the girl says that he desires, if the girl says, okay, this is how I need my man to be. I need my man to be there for me when I am emotionally low. A true man, a true Veera who is in the path of becoming a Shiva more than Shiva. Bhairava is the son of Shiva, or let's say a Tattva of Shiva only. which has the Guru Tattva, meaning it self-regulates itself. So at the state of a Vira, a man will start evaluating himself. And how would you evaluate yourself? You need a scale. You need a scale to measure your own conducts every single day, every single hour. And how do you do that? In Tantra, specific techniques of Tantra, basically, let me just give you a brief into it. Tantra is basically mastering the elements of the universe. The sun, the land, the water, the space. So, sun is the self-esteem. Water is the devotion towards yourself, or let's say the faith that you could have on yourself, in how much faith you have on your deity. Meaning in Tantra, you choose to become a deity. So how much faith do you have in your own capabilities, in your own self, right? So first we dealt with the self-esteem part, which keeps on going. Maturing, I mean, not just growing and growing into a balloon kind of a thing, but maturing, seasoning, sharpening, And at the state of a Vira, a man now measures his behavior. Measures his behavior across every conversation, across every event that he and the woman he wants is expecting. They set the expectation and then he measures himself for his own sake. For his own sake. And then there is a welfare happening. But first for his own self. He's measuring. And then he's evaluating himself. How good was I? Do I deserve her? How much of it, how much of this energy should I retain further? How much of this trait of mine should I let go of? That is a constant banter within the head of a truly matured and truly grown man should happen. This is what we in Tantra teach a man in the sadhana of Bhairava. This is how you become a Bhairava. So I always give the example of a dog. Dog being the Vahana of Bhairav. If you get a dog into your house, you get disciplined because they'll wake you up. They have a time. Dogs need a structure. They don't like messy lives. If you have seen dogs on street also, there is a specific territory that they dwell. They don't cross boundaries, which means they want structures more than anybody. So a man is a creature of structure, which he sets for himself. Nobody sets it for him. Then that's a child. It's a man who will set his own structure. Now coming to evaluating how good he is with maintaining his structure, maintaining his boundaries, maintaining his conduct, is again the example of a dog. Have you seen a dog being trained? First, they sniff, but they're always alert. What you're trying to teach them. A yardstick, let's say, is expected to be caught. First, they don't understand it, they just run far past it. The second time, they throw. Again, they run a little bit close, confused, but still trying to understand. Again, you throw it the third time. Now, the dog gets it. Not because you are trying to teach them. They were willing to learn it. They never saw you as a teacher. They saw you as the context. the teaching happens in context. The master definitely appears to each of us in whatever context we put ourselves or we are put in life at all. So here, now the dog picks up. That is a structure of a masculine man. A truly masculine man structures himself, measures himself. And then what happened? The fourth time you throw, he catches the yardstick. The dog gets hold of, because he now understood this is what I'm supposed to do to win. And that collaborative effort where you won and he won because he cared enough for the context that he was put in, is the true dharma of a man. What is a true masculine man? He who cares. I don't care about anybody, anything. Wherever he is put, he would care of, is this important? How important? How much of my energy am I going to give? How much of energy am I receiving from the other end? Is it worthwhile? These are the conversations a true masculine man is definitely gonna ask you. Anything other than this, you're not with the right kind of a man. It's a man without a purpose, without a structure. So, someone who cares is Bhairava. For a woman, for a place, for a house, for a job, someone who truly cares is structured, is dharmic. Now, is dharmic to win does not mean to become vidharmic. Vidharmic is where in order to win you become malicious. Which means it's no more a win-win situation for both of you. It's now you win and they lose. That's not what Bhairava is also. He would care. A dharmic man always cares for him to win and for you to also win. So win-win. It's never win-loss. Loss-loss also doesn't work. It's always win-win. It's always measuring, evaluating, course correcting, and then bringing that structure all along his life. That's a true masculine man for you. That's from there you become a Bhairava. Now, when you have measured, evaluated, and course corrected your behavior in accordance to a woman, a situation, a context, anything, it could be anything, the man gets a purpose. A true man never deals without a purpose. And a truly embodied feminine woman who is extremely dignified senses it. In the most, for example, if you have seen dog psychology, people would say dogs run out of a house where people, pet dogs, run out of a house ideally when there is a lot of fights in the house. They don't like it. That's not caring for each other. That's not what the spirit of the dog, which is Bhairava, stands for. You don't fight with family. You course correct. You create structure. You don't betray your owns. You build them together, which is a win-win situation. You offer them solutions, and you recognize when a best solution is offered to you in order to course correct yourself. That's also a very masculine trait. So, and this is where a Veera is a boy, the transition from boy to a Veera happens, to a warrior man, to a truly masculine man happens. And once you cross these things and you become extremely dharmic, where you care about everybody winning, that is when you become a fearless warrior, which is Bhairava. That is Bhairava. And that is the essence which a society clearly wants in men, which women want in their life, and they do not have it. Every time you're with a man who is very free flowing, question that, women, please. A truly embodied man has boundaries, understands course correction, measures his behavior and conducts. Not, you don't have to say them. They will measure themselves and behave better because they care for you. It's out of that care, that dharmic fearlessness that Bhairava has, where he wants to win and he wants you to also win in the context that you both are in. So, grow up, own your seeds, men. Grow up. Don't be a man-child, because it's not helping you. It's not helping the woman to bloom into her true potential, and it's stopping you from. And I really feel this is again what I've observed. These things have to be taught to a man. Somebody, like in Tantra, you are taught these things. So somebody has to teach you. So your first gurus were supposed to be your parents. But often you see parents are incompetent to raise men who are truly masculine in nature, who have structure. For example, there is a thought in our scriptures that a family which has all men, which is only men, the role of that family is to hold the structure of masculine principles in the society. It is not to, it is celebrated, yes, but that is for a greater reason, because a structured masculine is usually the most potential masculine. Apex masculine is always structured because he has mastered the elements, the self-esteem, the sun, the faith in yourself, which is the water. So how much of yourself do you believe can you measure, course correct and evaluate to be the best? That. And groundedness. In all of this, you don't blame it on others. You take accountability, full responsibility on yourself. So that is the earth element. And then the space. The intelligence of naturally behaving intuitively when put in situation, because you are trained yourself very well. That's the space. Once you go beyond space, you become Bhairava, because you've now mastered all the 5 elements of the universe. So that is when you become truly masculine in nature. And it is an unfortunate situation that today we have parents who are very incompetent to raise conscious, competent men for women in the society, to build a community of very healthy, structured, disciplined, masculine, for the feminine to feel safe, for the feminine to actually do her own thing. That's all for today. Thank you. I hope this helps you.